Hey, did you know there's a new COD coming out?
Really? I guess it's that time of year. I don't know if I'm gonna get it this time. The last few have been kind of just been terrible.
It's Modern Warfare 2.
What?
Yeah, see? Sam?
We're going to the war zone. Get your gear. Meet me there.
Sam, this isn't a real gun. You're not Captain Price. You're too fat to be Captain Price.
What'd you say? These guns might be fake. This mustache might not be real. But this machete, it's real!
I hate you. Ow!
For 18 years, Activision has been pumping out Call of Duty after Call of Duty on a yearly basis, which begs the question, why would anyone be excited about a new one? Especially a new one that has been already made, technically. I myself have been burned out. I played Vanguard and I couldn't pick it up again. I've been playing it on a yearly basis since Black Ops 4. And yet, this one has me excited. Modern Warfare 2. But why? To answer that question, I suppose we would have to start with why I love Modern Warfare 2019 so much. Why I like it better than the arguably better games in the franchise that have come before it. Why don't I tell you a story? Let's start at the beginning. Growing up, I didn't have access to video games, period. They weren't really allowed in my house. So whenever I did get the opportunity to boot up a console and play a few hours of some game I had never seen before, I would take everything in, soak in every detail. And some of my fondest memories from back in the dark ages, as it were when I was playing Call of Duty. Over the summer, I would basically live with my cousins until school started up, and we would do all the fun summer things. We would watch TV all day, we'd shoot each other with Nerf guns, we'd go to the beach, get ice cream from the ice cream cart that came by, and for some odd reason had those weird flower cartwheel things that you'd put chili on. But one of the more fun activities we did was booting up the good old PS2. I remember vividly playing Jack and Daxter 3 on that thing. But most importantly, I remember that being where I first played Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2, in particular. In that game, I vaguely remember controlling a tank at some point in a desert, and a city covered in snow with the objective being a big building. The only thing I truly remember is the first mission of the game, the tutorial. I remember a Russian general yelling at me and giving me orders to go pick up my rifle.
Now, go to the storeroom and get a pistol and a rifle. Move!
Shooting glass bottles, and throwing potatoes.
These are potatoes, Comrade Commissar! Why are we using potatoes instead of real grenades?
Because real grenades are valuable. In fact, they are worth a lot more than you are.
My older cousin, who owned the PS2, made sure the game was set on veteran, so if I did play, it was always super hard. And I guess he was hoping that it would deter me from touching his PS2 since he knew I was too stupid to figure out the difficulty settings at the time. It did not deter me. I pushed on, and I tried to get through the game. It did not work. This wasn't the first time I had played a first-person shooter, but with how difficult it was for me at the time, it sort of set up in the back of my mind that I would never really be good at these kinds of games. And so my preference for a good portion of my life was for third-person games instead of first. Not that I didn't play them, I just didn't really actively seek them out. A few years later, my cousin got his hands on a PS3, and with it came Black Ops 2, a game which I enjoyed thoroughly because it was just good times playing with my cousins. With me being older and able to pick up on game mechanics a bit better, I could actually play the game, although we never really played the campaign. With Black Ops 2, it was either a 1v1 on a map or we were playing zombies. My favorite map was Turbine because it gave me an excuse to use a sniper with an adjustable scope. I thought it made me better at the game, but it really didn't. On that map there were places to hide as well, and I enjoyed that. But it didn't really work with split screen being a thing. Zombies was our bread and butter. We didn't really understand how it worked, but we did our best. Had we had known how to upgrade weapons, we might have lasted longer than 12 rounds, but even then, I guess you could say
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Summer afternoons would turn into summer nights that were a little too late for us to be up, where we would play Call of Duty Black Ops, passing the controller off to the next person because there was too many of us and there was only 2 controllers, so we couldn't do 4-way co-op, playing on town, killing zombies, just having a good time. Those are some of my fondest memories. When I wasn't at my cousin's place, I was getting my gaming kicks out on an old laptop that I used for school, which had absolutely no business running any type of the games that I tried to play on it. Maybe Pinball or Minesweeper, but nothing like what I downloaded. I downloaded Steam, and that's where I got my games, using money that I took from my mom, without asking. Don't steal, kids. It's bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad. Don't steal. Okay? Okay? Don't steal, kids. Don't steal. Alright? We good? One of those games was Call of Duty Ghosts, and I loved that game to death. The dog Riley was my favorite part, along with the overall atmosphere of the campaign. Seeing a Californian town just being obliterated from space was pretty sweet. Oh, and I love the honey badger as well. My experience with the game at the time wasn't great, considering I was on that laptop. My frame rate was the worst, the absolute worst. Eventually I figured out how to make the game run without terrible frame rates, and once I did, I played the crap out of the campaign. I loved it. I had a fun time. This sort of set up the precedent that I enjoy campaigns more than I do the multiplayer. The multiplayer wasn't something I had full access to because I was playing on that crummy computer. All I had was the story and the characters, and that's where I got my fun. To this day, I still want a Ghost 2, but I understand why we don't have one. In high school, I finally got my hands on a proper console, an Xbox 360, which soon after I turned in for an Xbox One, so, did I ever really have an Xbox 360? Yes, I did, but, On that console, I would play pretty much anything that I could, including many Call of Duties. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, World War II, Advanced Warfare. And my opinion at the time was that the series was kind of meh, It wasn't my favorite. It was a game I enjoyed, but I was really more into other kinds of titles. And I guess you could call me a casual. No, actually, I was a casual, a noob, a loser, all those things. A camper, probably, too. But then 2019 came, and with it, like every year before, a new Call of Duty. Modern Warfare, a remake of a classic. I wasn't exactly hyped when the reveal trailer dropped, but I kept an open mind. I had it in the back of my head. I didn't really want to pre-order it. My tune changed when the multiplayer reveal trailer dropped. Everything about that trailer was just intriguing to me. Night vision in multiplayer. Mounting. Doors being a gameplay element. A frickin' tank. I pre-ordered. I wasn't planning on it, but that trailer convinced me to do it. And to this day, I do not regret my decision at all whatsoever. This was the game that got me to understand Call of Duty as a whole. All the games that came before, and all the games that would come after. The story was the first thing I played, and I absolutely loved it. Everything about it was cool to me, and it's probably the main reason I'm excited for Modern Warfare 2. The intro alone gives you an idea of what kind of experience you're going to have with this game.
Our war is not for our fate. We fight to remove all foreign power from our soil. We are Al-Qatala. We are the killers. We fight without sorrow. We wage war without sympathy. This is the only way to live and die a true soldier.
I love how much they focus on stealth and combat in the dark, with an engine that had updated graphics in order to allow proper night vision. Some of the best missions, like Shoot House and Going Dark, utilize night vision to its fullest extent. You could go in loud and proud, but there's something so satisfying about getting the perfect stealth kill.
Go kill.
Not to mention, Infinity Ward got the atmosphere of stealth-based missions perfectly.
Bravo 6, moving to the first floor.
I love how different quite a few of the missions are. You can do things in a Call of Duty I would never have expected at the time. Pretending to be a worker to get past guards in enemy territory.
This is where we split up. You'll need to comply to blend in. Get through that main door. I'll find you on the other side.
In spite of my generosity and protection,
Having the ability to choose your objectives and take them however you'd like.
Let me close from the helicopter. I'll cover you.
Guiding a character through security cameras to get past enemies.
There's a cart near the bookshelves. Go now.
you
Other
does
end.
not belong in my country. This is not your land.
Hide in that body.
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, wait, please!
And playing as a little girl. Hometown is one of the missions that stuck with me the most. It's pretty graphic, so be warned. It's backstory for Farah, the leader of a resistance group in the Middle East. You play as her as a child, and the first thing you do is call for help under rubble with your mother dead right next to you. Then, you lose your father to a big soldier. Whom you, a child, have to kill. And then you have to escape a gas-filled city, avoiding soldiers and crawling over the bodies of innocent people. Finally, you have to kill more soldiers later with a gun that you barely know how to use. And that leads me to the thing I really love, the attention to detail. When you're playing as Farah when she's a child, and later on when she escapes prison and meets Captain Price for the first time, the way she handles weapons and reloads is completely different to the more tactical and precise reloading that the more experienced characters have. The guns look photorealistic, feel good to shoot, and sound awesome. The sound design in this game is top tier. On top of that, when you're fighting at night, you can't aim down sights and are forced to use a laser to see what you're hitting, because obviously you're wearing giant night vision goggles. Cinematics look well, cinematic. We've gotten to the point where the cutscenes almost feel like live-action movies. And of course, one of the main reasons I love this game is because of the man, the myth, the legend, Captain John Price.
Cool.
He's just so badass.
Not anymore.
Will you keep your muppets on a short string, Colonel?
Or what?
I'll fucking earn you from it.
He's the reason my channel is named what it is.
Yeah, but we're a little crazy, aren't we?
And he has a great monologue near the end of the game that hits well with the themes of the story.
They were
When
hostages.
you take the gloves off, you get blood on your hands, Kyle. That's how it works.
Where do we draw the line, sir?
You draw the line wherever you need it, Sergeant. At the end of the day, someone has to make the enemy scared of the dark. We get dirty, and the world stays clean. That's the mission.
These were the main things I loved about Modern Warfare 2019. The story, the gameplay and graphics, the characters, but also the multiplayer, and the friends and memories I made along the way. The campaign alone is enough for me to have pre-ordered the sequel, but on top of that, because of how well it was designed, in my own opinion, I was completely addicted to the multiplayer. Gunfight was my favorite game mode by far. 2v2s on small maps where you have to adjust your playstyle with whatever predetermined loadout you have that switches every 2 rounds. It was a great way for me to learn how to use each weapon in the game. I had fun with Search and Destroy as well. That was one of my favorite game modes. I had a game take place on a map where you can have a tank instead of a Wheelson, and in that last round, I pulled out a tank and went crazy. Everyone was going nuts, and I just wish I had the footage because that was so cool. Warzone came along, and since COVID happened around then, I pretty much put most of my time in that and the multiplayer. I did the grind to get Damascus, and when I needed a break from that, I played Warzone.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Warzone was so much fun back in Verdansk. I love it so much, and I miss it. That was when I met my current friend group on Xbox, people I play with to this day. It was in Warzone and Modern Warfare where we dominated. Cold War came along. I didn't enjoy it as much since they were using an older game engine and it felt like a downgrade, but it was still fun, and I played it mostly to play with my friends. Zombies was fun too, and in Cold War I finally got to understanding how it worked thanks to my friends. And now I can hop into zombies and last more than 10 rounds unlike when I was a kid. I also did like the story. Vanguard came along around the time I was hoping we would get a Modern Warfare 2, but we got Vanguard. And for a time I was sold on it merely because it used Modern Warfare's engine, and at the promise of being able to play on multiple fronts in World War II, which was something we hadn't been able to do since back in the day. I was excited because I love history, and we were supposed to get a new map for Warzone as well. Unfortunately, the story was mediocre at best, the zombies were terrible, and I hate the Caldera. I will give Vanguard some credit though, it does have a killer soundtrack. It's made by the guy who made God of War's soundtrack, Bear McCreary. So cool, love it to death, one of my favorites in the franchise. The last time I played Call of Duty was Vanguard Season 2. I haven't really touched it since then because I was just burned out. Since I finished Modern Warfare 2019 campaign, I've been just waiting for Modern Warfare 2. I've been waiting 3 years for this. I'm excited. I don't look it, but I am excited. I haven't really looked into any of the gameplay or any of the trailers for Modern Warfare 2 2022. But I am excited. With the burnout from Cold War and Vanguard, I just kind of was like, Modern Warfare 2? Cool. But I am excited. Modern Warfare 2019 was the best Call of Duty I ever played. It's the one I enjoy the most, at least. Am I worried? A little. I tried to play the beta, but ultimately that kind of failed, because every time I tried to load it, the game would crash, and I would get this stupid little demonware thing. That could be a sign that things aren't going to be great, but I still have high hopes. I'm excited for the campaign, I'm excited for Warzone 2, I'm excited that we're going to be on a new engine, and I trust Infinity Ward at this point because they haven't dropped the ball for me yet, personally. But most importantly, I'm excited to be playing Call of Duty with my friends again. We kind of drifted from Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and we went off and played all our own different things, playing with each other every once in a while. I went back to working because restrictions lifted from the whole COVID thing. It feels like we drifted a little. But in Modern Warfare 2, I'm hoping it'll give me a taste of what it used to be. And I know, it's probably not going to be the same at all. But, I don't know, something just feels right about playing Call of Duty with the homies. And especially a Modern Warfare. And that's why, although a bit tempered, I'm still excited for a Call of Duty. Anyways, thank you for watching me rant and ramble about a franchise that could honestly use a break, and is getting a break. Have a wonderful day or night. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. See you in the war zone, and stay frosty. At the time of filming this, I am like 2 days out from the game releasing. I am stressed, to say the least. I totally procrastinated in making this, and now I have to go editing, so that's going to be fun. But know that I will not play Modern Warfare 2019. No, I'm sorry. Know that I'm not going to play the new one until I get this done, because I want everything that I've said to mean something in the very least. Yeah. I mean, I might play with my friends. I'm probably going to play with my friends. Yeah, comes out tomorrow. I'm so hyped.